Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another video. Today, I am kicking off my series on stress and emotional eating. If you guys did not know, I struggled with stress and emotional eating for many, many years and finally overcame it. And then I created the world's shortest mini training on it, which has been one of my best selling courses to date. And so I'm spending this month talking about stress and emotional eating and letting you guys know about the tools that I use to overcome this and kind of the history behind it and what you can do to get yourself out of the hole. Now, I do have a course. I will pop it in the description box below so you guys can click on that. But today, we are going to talk about fighting for your right to be stressed and overweight. And I'm sure you're thinking, okay, why is this statue up here? What are we talking about? But bear with me. This is kind of a roundabout way to talk about how, particularly in the Black community, this is something that is hailed and is seen as okay. And come to find out, it is extremely detrimental to our health on the whole, and also to the broader society. So let's talk about this first. Now, if you don't know what this statue was erected in Times Square, and it was created by a biracial man who is married to a white woman and has a white mother. And the reason why I'm saying that is because I'll get into that later. And he presented this statue as a way to combat all of the white men in Times Square. Now, I have an issue with that. Okay, and let me just share with you guys why, and this relates to stress and emotional eating. I am literally so tired of Black women being like the face of victory and the face of power and the face of strength and the face of combativeness and the face of force. When, like, to me it makes sense that if there are a bunch of black men or white men in Times Square, that you would put a black man to combat, like, I don't know. But the fact that we are always the face of struggle and opposition, and even the way that she's standing, it's problematic for me, and it's become increasingly problematic for me as I get older, because I'm starting to understand how our image is often used to promote things that end up being detrimental to us in the long run. This is the typical stressed and overweight woman, stressed and overweight Black woman who has the world on her shoulders, who is taking care of everybody else but herself, who is, fighting for everyone's rights except her own, except the right for her to sit down somewhere, except the right for her to take care of her own body. And I really want us to get out of this. I want us to get out of this trope. Now, many people are saying, yes, this is what the average woman in America looks like. Girl, I don't care. I'm a health coach. And I can tell you right now, it is very hard to be healthy at this size. What does healthy mean? Healthy means that you are at a certain body fat percentage, right? Because once you're above a 30% body fat percentage, there are detrimental effects to your health. Your fat actually carries toxins. So the more fat you have on your body, the more toxins you're going to hold in your body. Once you have excess fat on your body, you're also going to have hormonal issues because fat is stored in your hormones. So there's so much more to health than like just your weight. Oh my gosh, the sun just came out, you guys. It's been raining. I love it. The sun just came out. So this is not about weight. You guys know that I'm technically overweight for my height, except my body fat percentage is like 18%. So I'm fine, right? My numbers are perfect. My cholesterol is great. I don't have high insulin. I don't have high cholesterol. I don't have diabetic numbers. I'm good. But what this statue represents for me is the fact that so many women love this. They actually have come to embrace this as who they are and who they have to be. And I'm here to tell you that you do not have to be this woman. You do not have to be the woman that neglects herself so that she can stand up for the rights of everyone else. You don't have to be. And we are one of the only people groups who are expected to do this. Most other people groups, their men are expected to be the strong ones in the community. Their men are expected to rise up and to fight oppression and to protect their families. But for a lot of Black women, this is our role. And we have come on to take this, not realizing that number one, our nervous system wasn't designed for this. But number two, Our hormonal system, the way that it's set up, was not designed to take on this level of responsibility and angst. Because there is angst that comes with being the face of opposition. There's angst that comes with being the face of the community and fighting back. And I'm the one who's going to be bold and be in front. And this is exactly what I see here in this statue is I see a stressed and overweight woman, and you don't have to be that way. Now, a lot of people are angry at at this sort of commentary because I think that I think it's actually despair. Okay? I think what we're experiencing is despair. We actually don't know how to live any other way. And that's why my stress and emotional eating course has been so near and dear to my heart because I teach women and men too that there's a better way. You can do better than this. Like, you actually don't have to be that person. You can rest. You can take care of your own body. You do not have to live like this. But I think when you get to a place where you're in despair, what you do instead of saying, oh my gosh, I actually feel like I'll never be able to get fit, I'll never be able to get healthy, you go, this is who I am. You can't hate me for this. How dare you? To our own detriment. So, my problem with this statue is that it's more of the same and that this is not the ideal for anybody. Nobody wants to live their life stressed out and overweight. And when we realize that, when we can get honest with ourselves and say, you know what, I actually don't want to live like this. I actually abhor this because I wish I could live differently. I wish I wasn't the person who worked all day, took care of everybody else, and then at night I come home and I binge on fried chicken and French fries, or I binge on McDonald's and a large Coke, or I create a bunch of chicken wings and potatoes and mac and cheese, and I eat it all until I feel my nervous system resets. And then I repeat that cycle over and over again because that is what I see. The woman who spends her whole day and her whole life fighting for the rights of everyone else and ignoring her own internal health cues goes home at the end of the day and tries to reset her nervous system with food. This woman represents a lot of women in the United States and a lot of Black women at that. Because, yes, a lot of Black women are expected to combat all of the forces of racism on their own. This is not an expectation that is given to Black men. Why did they not erect a statue of Black men? They erected a statue of a Black woman because this is the role that we have accepted for ourselves. We have accepted the role of the fighter. The problem with that is that we have not learned how to fight and rest at the same time. And for that reason, we have a lot of women who are stressed and overweight because they are taking on this persona. They are taking on this image as their own. And as I said before, you don't have to. So, the first thing you need to do if you do not want to be stressed and overweight is you have to stop taking on mental and emotional burdens that are not yours. When we decide that certain things are none of your business, none of my business, your life gets about 5 times easier because you are not carrying the stress of other people in your body. And that is what happens. So, again, women naturally co-regulate. We naturally do that. Now, we do this in an unhealthy way by simply absorbing other people's things, other people's issues, other people's trauma, including your kids, right? We do that, but we have to find a way to set our nervous system back up. One of the ways to avoid this is to stop worrying about things that are not your stuff to worry about. And I have to remind myself to do this on a regular basis because it's very easy for my mind to go to, oh, I need to do that for this person and this and that and this and the third and da da da, da, only to come back to it and go, wait a minute, that's none of my business. And I've spent now tons of mental energy and I've sit myself up here and now I need food to try and bring myself back to homeostasis. So it starts with not doing things that don't belong to you, releasing burdens that do not belong to you. That is your goal. That is step number 1. Step number 1 for stop being stressed and overweight is to say, okay, what things do I have on my plate mentally and emotionally, and actually physically too, that are none of my business, that I have no business taking on, and release those things. And that's one less thing that can send you way up here so that at night you need to use food to re regulate yourself. That's step number 1. All right, you guys, I hope you enjoyed this short video. I'll be making a video every single day this week on stress and emotional eating. If you're interested in my course, it will be in the description box below. Don't forget to like, share, comment, and subscribe. If this video resonates with you, let me know, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.